and then down. Do that.
Okay. Ready? To the right. To the left. Down. Up. Whoa! Yes. You can tell we're having a little bit of fun. We are live from Redmond, Oregon.
Yeah.
And this is actually the second Detailers of the Roundtable training.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
So, and dude, day one was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was great. The class is good. The students were really receptive, asked the right questions, engaged a lot. So it's been good. So we had.
I think that what was cool was, one, Carlos was over the top excited.
Yeah.
I was building up to something like this. You go through your stages of excitement, and then nervousness, and then panic, and then it's like, all right, once everybody's coming, it's like, okay, this is on.
Yeah, then you remember, like, I actually know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is fine. I do this every day.
Yeah, it was good, man. And when Rod and I were preparing to come out, we took the 6-hour drive over from Boise.
Yeah.
And that drive from Boise is just boring.
It's a boring drive. Yeah.
I literally probably fell asleep 8 times on the way over. We'd be talking, and all of a sudden just.
Well, at least you both didn't fall asleep at the same time.
No,
I don't
that
know
was
if he
a
did
good
or not
thing.
because I was asleep.
You wake up, you're an hour down the road, you're like,
Where
it's
am I?
fine.
Why am I doing Mexico?
No, it was good, man. So, but as we were leaving, Rod asked me, he goes, "How many guys are going to be there?" I go, "Honestly, I don't know. I didn't ask Carlos, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know if there's going to be 1 or 20, and we had 11 guys and gals.
Good.
I mean,
Class,
which
yeah.
was a
It was a
really
good
good class. And I really appreciated the changes that were made from last one, right? We came in and had a really nice business segment. I mean, you did a great job of going, all right, as a business owner, as a new business owner, these are the things that you need to set in place for your business.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get to the fun stuff of detailing a car
and
right?
RoadFS.
and doing paint
Yeah,
correction and all
that
that
was
stuff.
the fun part.
Right? Because usually when you go to a training, that's what you get, right?
Yeah.
How do I use
Yeah.
a polisher? How do I use a pad? What combinations? Why? And all that. And those trainings are invaluable. But one of the things that you guys have done with Detailers, or we've done with Detailers of the Roundtable really well, is, all right, we're going to dedicate the first morning to just business. And it was great, right? You had your little outline, and it's funny because you kept asking me, "What's your outline? What's your outline?" I'm
like, what?
What do you mean?
Jody
what's
and
an
I
outline,
don't
dude?
have an outline.
I mean, Rod and I just right?
go.
I just need something to keep me on track. Otherwise, I'll squirrel off in the left field.
That's how we've stayed in business for 15 years.
You squirrel off in
left
left
field all the
Yeah.
time.
That makes
So-
good content.
Yeah.
So I think it was really good, right? Because it was interesting. What was interesting to me was after the morning session, and we only went till like 11, right? So almost 3 hours of business stuff, 2.5 hours, and 2 people came up to me and said, "This weekend's already worth it."
Oh, wow. That's good.
So
That's good feedback.
the improvements just from the first one we did to this one have been really good, and it has nothing to do with location or people or anything like that. We're all the same group. It's just that I think that as you go forward, as you become more comfortable and stuff, and you get more of a curriculum. I did like the way that it handled. We had business, and then we did a truck, prepped the truck, washed the truck, showed some products from Carbrite, and then came over and polished. And I still think we can get those bird droppings out of it. I know we can.
We're running thin on our paint, aren't we?
So no, we're going to check it again. But if it's over 1 mil, we're going.
We're going all the way.
We're going to put my head on a polisher because that's like a little bit.
We better
more-
check.
That's a
the
little bit
depth there.
softer than wool, but not quite.
Well, one of the things that really impressed me yesterday was, Chris Metcalf was doing his whole spiel on the Flex line, incredible lineup of tools, especially as they're moving into more of the battery powered tools, right? And he totally had the stage. And then he goes, "Hey, and Lake Country is here."
Right.
And they have their Udos 3-in-1 and invited Bob over and gave,
it's
so it was
beautiful,
a really great
Well,
environment.
and he talked about other polishers as well.
Yes.
I mean, he mentioned Rupes, and he mentioned MacShine, and he talked about other polishers. He didn't just focus on himself, and that was the whole idea behind Detailers of the
It really is
Roundtable.
collaboration.
When
and
people
break
ask
down
that-
those walls.
Yeah, they ask that all the time. What is Detailers of the Roundtable? What is it? It's about not having an ego to be able to work with somebody, you know, side by side. And in those of you that are MTE, you saw that again with Dustin Jackson and myself, and Justin's part of the roundtable. And that's the whole idea, is collaborating with people, not competing.
I think everybody wins that way. You know, it pushes the industry in a more positive direction. And really, it's to help the students, the up and coming detailers that have a passion for it. If we're showing unification, they'll copycat that, and they'll start being unified with other detailers, and that's how you grow and help each other out. There's plenty of food at the table.
Oh, yeah.
We say that.
There should be no competition between detailers.
Yeah.
That's why I had about 4 or 5 detailers here from our area in Central Oregon.
Yeah.
That way they can get on the same page of doing the same details. We can network with each other.
Yeah.
The ones that don't want to collaborate, they just have a closed mind.
And they feel comfortable reaching out.
Yeah.
You want to extend that olive branch. So.
We did in Boise right before Christmas?
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
We had the most successful IDA meet and greet of all time.
Yeah.
We
It
had
was amazing.
unbelievable. You couldn't fit the people into one guy's shop.
Yeah.
People were standing outside. And in Boise, Idaho, that is a major no-no. They do not like each other. But we brought everybody together. Detail Dr. Steve Thompson took his time and called and reached out to each one of these people and brought them together. Jody and I videoed it. You can go watch it on our YouTube channel and whatever, but it is unbelievable how many people showed up, and just the camaraderie, and that we had to have a room this big to have dinner in.
Wow, yeah. I hope it keeps heading that direction
Yeah.
too. You know, with some good examples, I think everyone will follow suit, and then everybody wins.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. Yeah.
Well, I just, day one was amazing. I'm really excited for day 2. So what do we have in store for day 2?
So
Yeah, you go ahead.
that same Ford F-150 that was scratched up, it was a farm
It
truck.
looks amazing.
It was
It
hammered.
looks
Yeah.
great, but we kind of did things a little bit backwards yesterday because we wanted to utilize Chris Metcalf, which had to fly out early this morning. So
We had to get his side of things.
So we did the prep and the paint correction first. Now today we get to clean a very dirty truck.
Yeah, and we have to
it
step
is
back
bad.
and step. Yeah.
And get out 2 bird droppings on the front. It will come out.
That was with purpose. So we got a real world.
Yeah.
vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a work vehicle. You're going to see this when you're detailing. Part of training is when you get a clean car, you go through the steps, but you don't really see what's going on, what works and what doesn't. This is a great opportunity to really see how far you can take that process. We're going to teach, multiple processes on the interior because everybody's at a different level. They got different equipment. And we can still get that professional outcome with it. And this is going to be proof in the pudding.
Right.
Mhm.
Well,
And the interesting part about it is a real world example, and I thought about this yesterday, is when this truck first came in, it was so bad. I mean, we had to take it outside to blow out the bed because there was so much crap in it. And I think there literally was crap in it.
Yeah.
So and it's hammered out, but there were some people who are like, oh, I wouldn't even touch this. I'd take this to the junkyard. The point is that if this came to me as a customer, somebody came in and they had that truck, we increased the value of this thing by $5,000.
Well, it's a 2021.
Yeah,
it's newer truck.
Yeah.
It's not hurt too because it's not beat to snot. It was
not
scratched
treated
and
well.
dirty. It wasn't ever washed.
It's almost like a
those
farm
are
truck.
things we can correct as
Mhm.
detailers, professional detailers.
And it looks 100% better.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea. It doesn't matter at what level. It doesn't matter. Like today, we're going to work on we're going to coat a GTR, brand new.
2024.
And that is,
2024.
that is like, take your Facebook and your, Instagram
Instagram.
photos and
Yeah.
get your smiles in there, because that's the kind of car you're going to market to your customers. But this is day in and day out. This
Yep.
Ford F-150 is what keeps the lights on.
Mhm.
And this is what you want as your customer. You want this guy to come back year after year after year. And every 3 years when he buys a new truck, you want it to come back in. And then you can talk to him about, hey, we can put a ceramic coating on this that'll protect some of the stuff that you're
Mhm.
seeing. The bird
Yeah.
droppings and whatnot may not be as bad.
Well, a lot of times these business owners, they have a really nasty truck, but they keep a good fleet. Their wife's in a nice car.
Mhm.
Their daughter or son may have a good car. They have other equipment. You knock this thing out of the park and you're going to gain their business, their toys, their boats and even planes and everything. It really opens up avenues. So don't always turn these away. Evaluate the customer.
No.
And, it's good. It keeps you humble.
Well,
You know?
and if you set the expectations right,
Mhm.
and the customer comes back and you hit it out of the park, they're going to be over the top excited and grateful for the service that you offered. So.
Yeah.
And we
you're
talked about that. Yeah.
This isn't the Ferrari detailing
No.
Yeah.
industry. This is the automotive, boat, RV, motorcycle, Mama Sienna van detailing industry. And so I get it. And I was actually talking to Bob Myers, who's been in this industry longer than probably I've been alive. Sorry, Bob, but that's how it is. And he's like, this is what I love. I love seeing this kind of a transformation, a dirty, nasty farm truck. Because when we prep the GTR here in a minute, when we actually have to go to work, it's going to look like a 2024 GTR.
Brand new.
Like it should,
Still.
right? And I mean, I was picking it apart. You can watch the parts where I picked out one little rock chip in it. But the point is that is going to be barely any kind of transformation other than the ceramic coating is going to make it look beautiful. Yeah. This one's a massive transformation.
Massive.
And that is
the
what
before and after is going to
the before and after on this is insane. So,
and the reason why I picked this truck is because I want to show different processes. There's detailers that are just coming into the industry that don't have the money to buy a high-end steamer, don't have the money to buy an extractor. So we're going to show different processes. The way basically I started out, do a section, wash bucket, wash mitt, and whatever it takes to get the job shot back. That's what you want. You want to show these guys because they're up and coming. They're hungry. They're ready to rock and roll. And so if they have mentors here that are willing to show them the way we started back in the 90s, I mean, that's a gift in itself because when they're in a pickle, they're like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah. You know? I always forget, but I want to go down to like a Dollar General or something, and I want to buy a whole bin of tweezers. And for one of these trainings, I want to have them all laid out. And then when people come in and be like, okay, we're going to show you the old school way to do an interior to get hair out. Here's hair
by hand.
That's right, by hand.
Well, we just want to show the same amount of attention to the new guys that don't have the equipment because there's little guidance there. You know? But you can still get professional results with little or no equipment. You really can. Sometimes it takes longer. Tools a lot of times increase efficiency and speed, but it ramps up to that. It takes a time to get that steamer. It takes a time to get that extractor. And this allows you to do a professional job, what you can do consistently and entertain your customers at that price point that may adjust, right? But that's a learning curve. You're kind of going to college when you start your detail shop.
Well, the other thing that I really appreciated yesterday was, especially on this truck, was we looked at a number of polishers, right? And a lot of times people completely avoid the rotary. Right. And so we took a panel, and I mean, you did a great job on the rotary, explaining, the center pattern, keeping the outside dry, pulling the edge,
But he didn't make anybody splatter or stuff all over going to the right.
Well, that's part of the technique, not to sling it everywhere. So.
And I really appreciated that because I think sometimes, a lot of times, rotary gets such a bad name, and it has a place. And if you have the right training, it's a great tool. I mean, you can cut really fast.
Well, it takes time to learn that tool. A lot of people thought it's just old technology and that's the old way of doing it. But I mean, it is, but it still works. So as far as knocking down paint, it's very precise. You can learn to be very precise with it and get great results.
Especially with these new polishers, man. Compared to I got DeWalt's, and I was able to get
80-pound DeWalt.
80-pound DeWalt. I got
that's why we're all.
That's how you get those
guns. These guns.
That's why my back hurts so bad. The thing that I liked about what you were using yesterday, though, because it was a smaller pad on that, is for demonstration purposes, you could really see the patterns. And when you describe that, I saw the lights turn on, kind of like they are right now, our glowing person.
I know, here comes
but as you went across to the right, you could see the pattern. And then when you came back to the right, when you went to the left, you could see the pattern. And people really clicked into what you're doing because the way you describe it. So that 35 seconds of you describing the pattern, a lot of people kicked into what rotary was. The gal, is it Kayla, who's grown up in a body shop, had used a rotary her whole life. She was over there just shaking her head, going, "Yep." And as I'm watching you, I'm like, "Yeah, that's not." When I got trained on a rotary, it was here's how you turn it on, make cars shine. That's what it was. And I'm old enough that it said when the pad starts spinning, that means it's too gummed up, and you got to untie it and clean it, change the pad. So. That was really good. The fact that we did a demo on a paint transfer and we did DA and we did fixed rotation to show the difference between those two was something that's really marred. And just talking about the scale of, from really, really nasty cut to perfection polish, the different levels of which the tools are. And Chris Metcalf, again, did a really fabulous job of talking about every polisher in the business.
So I'm very blessed to have him here.
This is just the evolution of the Detailers of the Roundtables trainings and the quality you're getting and the different. I mean, as I looked at it and I saw the people that we had in this room doing a training, The question came up about the IDA. And, you know, you had a past president, you've got a board member, you've got somebody that sits on 2 committees, you've got other. So it was really great for the students that were here. And I mean, I'm totally blown away. And by the way, when you see some of these other videos, Carlos has a beautiful shop.
Beautiful shop.
Beautiful
We've got
shop.
quite a
here.
bit of content.
Mhm.
It'll be coming out over the next.
We
next
all
few
have
weeks.
shopping.
Yes,
For
several
sure.
months.
I live here now. This is where I live.
Yep.
There's
That's
a bed
where I
over
live.
there.
Yeah.
I got cots up there. I built it with a wash drain so you
That's
guys
awesome.
can pee over there.
No,
No,
take a shower in a wash bay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I mean, we're really looking forward to day 2 in about 30 minutes here.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to come in, talk about what we're going. In fact, they're knocking
They're knocking on the door right now.
So stay tuned. We got a bunch
Stay
more
tuned.
content.
Be right there.
We're going to
Listen,
code a
guys.
brand new GTR, and you're going to want to see this because
Hey,
it's beautiful.
yeah, reach out to us, detailersroundtable.com, or just send me a DM and we'll tell you what we're all about. So
All right.
thanks for tuning in.
Talk to you later.
See ya. Hey, good job.
Carlos was on it.
I'm coming.